Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here with us today on this beautiful Sunday. Your soul is welcome here, and you are in the right place at the right time. Is that not right, Ann?
That's right. Just where you are meant to be, whether you're live streaming or here in person. We're going to sing about how everyone is welcome here on Super Bowl Sunday. Let's sing about it.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am giving the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
My soul is welcome.
Your soul is welcome.
Your soul is welcome.
All souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the soul is welcome here. My 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 soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Well, good morning, and good morning, Patty. Thanks for being here and filling in for Rev Deb, who's going through a little healing experience, and she'll be back, I'm sure, next week. And yes, our souls are welcome here. Glad to have everyone here this morning.
Thank you. We greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy, and in the warm and loving energy of our spiritual community. Spiritual Life Center honors all people, worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no space that God does not grace. If this is your first time joining us, online or on site, we especially welcome you, because we know that you are not here by accident. We are all here by
Divine appointment.
And we really appreciate it if you would silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, now that we created that clearing to connect directly with the source of all good, we remember our purpose and why we are here as a community. We're about transforming lives to make a positive difference in our world. And we do so when we recognize the truth of who and what we are, from where we have come and whose we are. We are an extension of this presence, a presence that is beyond words but more real than anything that we could possibly imagine or touch. It contains all the things that we could ever hope for, want, or desire. It has all the qualities that reflect the truth of who and what we are when we see who we are without the lens of any negative interpretations. What we see is the love that is beyond understanding, the peace, the joy, the wisdom, the health, the healing. And as we come from that perspective, then we begin to manifest those things in our life and in our world. So we're grateful to be the vessels and the channels of this presence. So we can say without a doubt that when you see me, you see the presence that sent me. For this presence and I and all of us are one. We're all connected to the source. So we go forth doing our part, and as we do, we anchor a little bit more the expanding good that is meant for each and every one of us. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, as we move forward, we recognize our purpose and how we carry out our purpose, which is through our mission. And I invite you to join in as we affirm our mission statement. To transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we do that as we embody and live out these 5 basic principles that represent the truth as we understand it to be. Again, let's affirm them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. Well, one of the things we do every year is between the anniversaries of the deaths of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King is to honor the principles in which they taught. And those principles are reflected in our season for nonviolence. And every week we have someone from our community to read one of the principles that we can incorporate and give their interpretation of how they see it in their life. So this morning we have Christina Plessis, and she's going to share this reading for this week for our season for nonviolence.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Today I smile, have fun, and laugh. God's irrepressible life force expresses within me as a never-ending fountain of joy. Today I am aware that at the very center of my being is an endless source of energy, vigor, and enthusiasm. This is my purest essence, and I delight in each new experience. Expressing as God's radiance and light, I become as a child and seek new ways to play and have fun. Perhaps I walk through the day smiling at everyone I see, sharing jokes or funny stories. I engage in activities that warm my heart and lift my spirit. I dance through the day knowing that life is good and each moment is a precious gift. I choose smiling, fun, and laughter in every moment of this day. Today and every day, I smile and feel joy. I work to only do what brings me joy. Life is too short to do otherwise. When I'm in the flow, it's easy to do. And I feel God's energy and enthusiasm for this life. But when I'm not quite in flow, when there's a hiccup in my plan, an unexpected event, unpleasant and undesired, these times make it a little more challenging. I have to take a breath, regroup, let go of any anger, fear, or expectations, and carry on. I remind myself that whatever it is, it's not happening to me, but for me, and that it's just a part of the adventure. And then I have to consciously choose to smile and have fun. So one of my great passions is traveling. I also work in schools, and so just those experiences too bring me a lot of joy because I work a lot with students on one-on-one, and it's a really great way to, it brings joy to them as well as to me. But traveling is my passion, and so it's really a great example of when it's in flow, man, it's good. You know, my last trip, the flights were not only on time, they were a little bit early. And the buses were on time. And, you know, it was just perfect. But the trip before that, not one flight was on time. I missed 2 connections, arrived late, it was very, very challenging. And I had to just say, okay, I have to let this go. This is part of what it is to travel. It's part of my adventure at that moment. And you know what? It all worked out great, and we had a wonderful time. So I just want to say, smile, have fun, laugh. Life is good.
Yes. Thank you. Life is good. Yes, I love it. Oh, and speaking of life, we're going to honor any February birthdays. If you would stand, we'll acknowledge you for all the February birthdays.
February babies. Are you ready? Here we go.
Lots of love
Happy
babies.
birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. 80. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
All righty then.
So, on Wednesday, February 22nd, we will once again offer our Phoenix Rising and Ash Wednesday service. We mark the start of Lent together as we release the past with the burning bowl ritual. We affirm our connection to the divine with chanting and sacred ash on our foreheads. And we each take away our Phoenix Rising coin to remind us of the truth of our being. Join Reverend Janae Marth and Reverend Deborah Phillips for this annual Releasing and Remembering. Music with Laree Shiflett.
And speaking of having laughter and fun, I don't know if you all remember Laurel and Hardy. I know I'm dating myself back in the day, but you have an opportunity to enjoy some Laurel and Hardy fun, whereas the local Laurel and Hardy group, A Fine Mess, which is a fine which is a very fine title for a group, shows Mondays each month right here at Spiritual Life Center. So everyone's invited, and we're going to view Babes in Toyland next Sunday from 1 to 3:30 p.m. You don't have to have a reservation. Just show up and enjoy the fun with Laurel and Hardy if that's something you like to do. So check it out.
And our heart-to-heart conversations are continuing. Pam Logan has more to share with us about those.
So welcome, Pam Logan.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So, as James said, I'm Pam Logan, and I serve on the Evolutionary Council along with Brittany Jorgensen and Ruth Risos. And I think some of you recall about 3 or 4 years ago, we had heart-to-heart talks, and we interviewed many of you in this room, and we created a report and some guidelines for what we'd like to see in the future for SLC. And of course, then COVID happened. And our world has changed. You know, our church has changed, our lives have changed. And so we're redoing the heart-to-heart talks. And what that is that it's a survey where we will sit one-on-one along with, we train facilitators. Facilitators will sit one-on-one with you or do a telephone call or a Zoom call to spend 30 to 60 minutes, that's all, to have you, let you talk and share your heart's desires for what you want to see with SLC, what things you appreciate, what things have to help transform your lives. And so you want to continue to have this opportunity for everybody to participate on what SLC looks like and what we do. So it's an opportunity for all of you, including those that are online. We have people from San Francisco and many different states who log in, and they can participate as well. All you have to do is sign up online for those folks or sign up right in the courtyard, and we'd be happy to set up a 30 to 60-minute talk where you can share. And I want to say, for those of you who have already signed up and haven't heard anything, fear not. We've had a few glitches, technical glitches and life glitches, but we're back on target for completing this, and we hope to have signups completed by March 31st. So please sign up, and thank you to all those who have signed up already. And I have to say that we've completed some interviews already, and it's been very impactful. I'm really looking forward to sharing that information with everybody once this report gets done. So thank you.
Thank you, Pam, for bringing your talents in this area. Well, many may be familiar with Dr. Garland Landreth, and he's going to be here on February the 26th. I think we have some Garland Landreth fans here. And he's going to offer a 2-day seminar next Sunday afternoon as well as Monday evening. And one of the things we recognize about Dr. Landreth is that as a child, as part of his story, that he had dreams and manifested in his waking life. And he traveled to India, he traveled to China, and during this time he had a near-death experience and made the decision to do scientific research on the idea of our inner consciousness is connected to the same force that created the whole universe. And his research has been cited in the movie What the Bleep Do We Know that came out many years ago. Still relevant, and that was by Dr. Deepak Chopra and Neil Donald Walsh, and he's been involved in a number of radio and TV shows, taught over 30,000 congregants effective techniques on how to manifest their dreams and letting go of their intentions. Anyway, we do have a short video from Dr. Landreth to talk to you more about it.
Hi, I'm Garland Landreth, and you might have heard of my research in the movie What the Bleep. And in that movie, we talked about how we took 4,000 transcendental meditators into Washington, D.C. and actually reduced the crime rates while we were there. Now, in this seminar, what you'll be learning is how to create the life of your dreams by using cutting-edge techniques combined with quantum field technology. Now, to date, I've probably taught well over 30,000 people how to manifest the life of their dreams. And one of the questions I always ask in all my seminars is how many people know what their problems are, but they keep making the same mistake over and over again. And of course, everybody raises their hands. Well, that's not your fault. These are simply old brain pathways that are structured in your subconscious that have been holding you back. And so what we're going to do in this seminar is teach you how to create an entirely new brain matrix. That is by combining these three amazing techniques. First one is EFT and tapping. The second one is Ho'oponopono. And the third one is heart math. The new frontier in energy work is the subconscious. In fact, Bruce Lipton and Deepak Chopra both said that unless we can somehow clear out the subconscious, we're not going to be able to manifest very well. And remember this, if you are wanting something, you're attracting lack because you don't have it. So what we're going to do with these techniques is teach you how to gain inner abundance so that you attract outer abundance to you. And it works beautifully. These techniques are cutting edge, and I've seen them work over and over again. I'm excited about helping you on your journey.
So, Manifest Your Dream Seminar with Dr. Randall is coming up. Well, this time I invite our board president, Josie Johnson, to come forward. She's going to share our monthly board update. We do this once a month, so thank Josie for coming forward and sharing what's going on these days.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
On Sunday, February 9th, there will be a community membership meeting held here at the church and by Zoom. So if you're interested in becoming a member, please call the church and sign up so you can get and attend, please, so you can get all of your questions answered on becoming a member.
What's the date? 19th.
February 19th at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Here, yes.
And on Zoom.
Next, there are 2 vacancies to be filled on the Board of Trustees, and you may ask why. The first one, Sally Sion, is terming out in June, and the second vacancy is from JG's transition. At our last community update, we elected 2 governing members to be on the committee to search for people who are interested in becoming a board member. So those people we elected was George Piper and Kim McLaughlin. They will serve on a nominating committee along with Reverend James, Reverend Penny, and Donna Sterler. So in March, they'll be in the courtyard with applications, and so you may pick up those applications and fill them in. And when you turn those back in, after the committee has made their selection, we will come back to the church and vote them in. So that's our update for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie.
Remember, there are many activities that foster transformation in our lives. Check out our weekly small groups and other offerings. To discover all the happenings at SLC, go to our website. On site, you can peruse the bulletin board and then go to the hub and sign up for an event, and Garland Landreth is available to sign up for at the hub today.
Well, this time I invite any of our board members that are present, as well as our chaplains that are due this morning, to please stand. And the chaplains wear the white stoles, and they're holding the prayer watch for Spiritual Life Center, the high consciousness, the upper room awareness throughout the week. But they're also available to pray with you immediately after the service if you have a prayer need or you just want to celebrate something good in your life and just add more energy to it. So we thank them for their time and their contribution to our community, and they're available for you to pray with. And our board members do a lot of work behind the scenes and bringing their time, their talent, their skill set to move us forward collectively as a community, and we appreciate their support, and they're available to answer questions that you may have about Spiritual Life Center, and we thank them immensely for their talent and all they bring to Spiritual Life Center, so acknowledge them.
And we love to welcome our newcomers, so in a moment, we will ask those of you here with us to raise your hand. There are many ways to connect at SLC, and you can get more information about small groups, events, and classes by filling out our welcome card. Online, oh gosh. If you are on site and you raise your hand, you can fill out the card and take it to the welcome table out in the courtyard, where you will receive a special gift and a very warm welcome.
And if you're here for the very first time, just raise your hand. We'll actually acknowledge you. We'll give you the welcome card and invite you to fill that out if you want to stay in contact with us at Spiritual Life Center. We thank you. We appreciate you. and to behold the magnificence that you are. And we see you doing great things, and we really behold and send our loving energy to you as you do to us. And with that, we invite you to greet a newcomer or greet a friend or a neighbor nearby in a manner that feels comfortable for you, and just say, you are marvelous and glad you are here.
And we invite you to stay standing and join us in singing our group song, Love is the Face of God by Kathy Zabata. So feel free to dance and sing out, whether you're here or live streaming. Let's do it. Love is the face of God. 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 Let go of the worry and fear. Let go of the worry and fear. Let go of the worry and fear. Let go of your worry and fear. Let go of the past and be here. 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 I am opening up to love. 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 I am giving myself 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 to love. There is one purpose, and that purpose is to live your life for love, for love, for love, for love. Love is the face of God. Love is the face of God. Peace is the face of God. Peace is the face of God. Joy is the face of God. Joy is the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I am the face of God. I am the face of God. We are the face of God. We are the face of God. All is the face of God. All is the face of God. Love is the face of God. Love Please be seated.
Yes. Let's take a nice deep breath together. And let's speak out loud our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
And now, in preparation for meditation, I just invite you to become present in this room right now, right here, as we sing this beautiful chant, which so happens to be our mission statement: to love, to serve, and to remember. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come? To love, to serve, and to remember. Please join us in singing.
Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. Why have we? Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Do you remember? Why have we? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come? Why have we come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. 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 To love, serve,
Love, serve, and remember. We embody those words as we settle into our chairs right now. You can elongate your spine and relax your shoulders. And if you feel comfortable, simply closing your eyes. Be fully here now. Ground your attention into the surface beneath you, the chair or your feet on the floor, and know that you are supported. Sense the energy of the space that is supporting you now. Notice the presence of the surface holding you as well as that of the air surrounding you. Take a few long, clearing breaths in any way that feels comfortable for you. Invite your thoughts to soften with each out breath. Continue to notice the natural flow of your breath for a few moments as you reflect upon this moment. And allow the breath to flow at its own depth and pace. Each breath we take supports the body. So each breath is an act of love. So I invite you to breathe with this awareness, letting each breath be an offering of love to your body. As you inhale, feel a sense of love, compassion, and kindness growing inside of you. And let each exhale help to soften your thinking mind and any tension you might be holding. Each breath fills you with love, which awakens the energy of self-compassion. As you continue to breathe now, you might repeat to yourself, I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. Continue to sense into the energy of compassion that fills you. It fills you from the inside and from the outside. As your mind wanders away, just return to the flow of your loving breath. I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. Sensing into this loving breath for a few final moments now. Inhale and release. Release any words from your mind now and breathe naturally. Sense into the surface supporting you. reconnect with your physical body by welcoming some light movement. You might gently wiggle your fingers or your toes. And if you so desire, you can slowly open your eyes, letting loving breaths continue to support you throughout this day. And so it is. Amen.
Love is who I am. Love is all that I can be. All that I can give and take is the difference that I make. Love is who I'm meant to be. And I'm living in your everlasting love. It's your hand upon me, filling me with love. Yes, I'm dwelling in your awe-inspiring, never-ending, overflowing, always with me, everlasting love. Love is all I see. Love is the truth of me. As I walk this path of mine, every step is so divine. Love is flying, flying free. And I'm living in your everlasting love. It's your hand upon me, filling me with love. Yes, I'm dwelling in your awe-inspiring, never-ending, overflowing, always with me, everlasting love. Holy Spirit, I am standing in your light, for it turns my life today from darkest night. As I reach to take your hand, I begin to understand all the things that have been hidden from myself. I'm living in your everlasting love. It's your hand upon me, filling me with love. Yes, I'm dwelling in your awe-inspiring, never-ending, overflowing, always with me, everlasting love. Yes, I'm dwelling in your awe-inspiring, never-ending, overflowing, always with me, everlasting
Oh, thank you, Anne. Marie and Paula and our Soul Light Connection, as I mentioned in the earlier service, they may have the football Super Bowl every year, but whenever they sing, we have Super Bowl every week. And halftime for them right now. Well, there was a woman named Julia, not a real name, but she was a very successful business person, and she had a lot of achievements. By all measures of society, she was successful. But she always felt that she was not good enough. She compared herself to other people. She did this constantly. She often criticized herself unmercifully for every tiny mistake that she had made. And she all the time engaged in negative self-talk. And all of this, of course, took a toll of her mental health. And she often felt exhausted, many times unhappy, despite what appeared to be an idyllic life. And one day, a friend had recommended that she check out some spiritual counseling from a person, and she decided to go see a minister, a unity minister. She looked at all the others and said, well, they seem weird enough. And so she went to this minister and she listened. That is, the minister listened to her, and she saw that she was constantly, berating herself, putting herself down. And then the minister suddenly, interrupted and just said to her unexpectedly, "Do you love you?" She was kind of taken back and said, "Of course, look at all I've done. Look at all the things I've achieved in my life." But she left that time with that minister with that question stuck in her mind. And as she reflected upon it and deeply thought about it, she realized that she struggled with self-love because she had often got the message throughout her life that loving yourself was somehow selfish, somehow egotistical. And so she worked with that spiritual leader, and she learned more about self-love. And she started to understand that she was worthy of this loving presence and happiness, and she didn't need to compare herself to anyone else. And so she started to practice more self-care in her life and engage in activities that brought her joy. And she wrote a lot of positive statements around her and surrounded herself with positive people. And she noticed that her way of being, her health improved, and she became more confident, more resilient. And all of her relationships with others simply got better. And I believe that what she did, she practiced the rule of the greatest love. Now, we all understand the golden rule. It's, not the one where it says that he who has the goal makes the rules. Not that one. That's another rule. That's another talk. Rather, the universal rule that says, do unto others as you have them do unto you. It's a beautiful rule. It's encased in every major religion in one way or another. I think there's a poster in the office that has all the different ways that it says that. But there's another rule within that rule. And Jesus made reference to it when he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. As thyself. This is the greatest love. Which simply means to treat yourself as you want others to treat you. Treat yourself as you wish the universe to respond to you. Similarly, there was a story many, many years ago. I had a mundane job. I was working in a furniture store, and I had a friend. She was a teacher's assistant, a teacher's aide. And the way that she described it, she was of meager means. And she said that really meant I didn't really have much money. But I remember two things about her. One of the things that was her house. It was a nice small house, very, very simple. But it had to be the most immaculate and most clean house I had ever seen in my life. I don't know if you ever, looked at a window at a place and your home and the light is streaming through the window, and you can see these particles of dust coming down, when you're looking at the stream of the window. Let me tell you, her house was so clean, she didn't have no dust like that. That's how clean her house was. But that's neither here or there. But the second point I remember is that when we would carpool from work, She worked like a block away from where we were, and we were both kind of making it through life. But each week that she would get paid, she would go by and look at this very expensive place that had house accessories. It was in a place called the Design District, and a lot of high-end interior decorators would go there and get stuff for their clients. But she would go into this one particular store, and it had these magnificent items. And then there was one day that something caught her eye. It was a beautiful glass work. I don't know quite what it was, but she just loved it. And she asked the owner, could she just get it on, back in those days, they were called layaway. I don't know if you remember layaway, come in there, pay a little bit every week on it. And so the man agreed to do that. So week, after, we got off from work and she got paid, and she would come and make a little payments on it. Sometimes it might be a little bit, sometimes it would be more, depending upon, what she had to pay that week. And I was very aware that, my friend was really kind of going beyond her means, at least my interpretation. But she did it anyway. And eventually, after many weeks of making sure I stopped by there every week to pay a little bit on it, she owned it. And I was curious, and I said, you've been having me come by each week to stop by here to pay for this, what appears to be a very exquisite item. And I know that your life sometimes is challenging, that you have a lot of stuff to take care of. And I know you're not rolling in dough. I could talk to her like that. And, why do you do this? And so she talked me to her place that she lived, and she showed me a room. There's a special room that she said she had. And she said, I only allow the most beautiful things to come into this room because this is the place that I live. I live there. And the room was filled with positive words and affirmations and uplifting images, and you could not help but be inspired when you came into that room. And I realized looking back, because I didn't know all the stuff that she was doing and what this spiritual stuff was all about at the time, that she has a message that's a metaphor for all of us today. And that is that we always live with ourselves. As that saying goes, wherever you go, there you are. Stuff be going on, you move to another place, boom, you're still there. So we want to examine ourselves and see what is it that we allow to remain in our awareness. Because remember the spiritual law of mind action, it said thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So we want to ask, is it beauty or is it crudeness of the day that we're keeping in our memory? How does our memory serve us? Do we remember the things that went wrong? Do we remember the obnoxious things that someone may have said about us? Do we think about other people and just criticize them unceasingly? Because I don't know one here, but there's some people that criticize other people as if there's some sort of prize in it. The more they do it, the more they apparently think they're being better in life. But understand, when we speak like that, they get the copy. We keep the original. We keeping that energy all the time. So we want to ask, do we allow where we live to be filled with beauty and upliftment? And I think therein lies an aspect of the greatest love, that treating ourselves well. If you want to be treated well, you have to act as if you are, putting yourself on a training program or putting the universe on a training program. Because when we do that, then we begin to create boundaries and we're able to communicate more effectively. We build stronger relationships because we're solid in who we are and what we're about, and we're able to forgive ourselves easier. That makes it easier to forgive others. We're also easier to forgive others because it leads to conflict resolution. Understand that we can never love another beyond the love that we have for ourselves. There's a limitation there. And as we allow for the development of that strategy to keep that beauty within us, more beauty rushes to us. Because what we're interested in is where our attention is. That's what spiritual law says. Whatever you and I are interested in truly on a deep level, on an emotional level, that's what we experience. Jesus said it this way, to lay up in treasures in heaven where dust and moth do not corrupt. And he was talking about a level of awareness of not using our memory, not using our mind, not using our being to hold fast to the negative, to hold fast to discontent, but to use this place as a repository of beauty and love. And we can do this. I think to express this greatest love, we want, like I said, to put ourselves think of ourselves as being on that training program. Remembering we train the universe and we train others around us by how we treat ourselves. And to the degree that we treat ourselves with excellence, with an exquisiteness, with a loveliness, with a compassionate hand, that we treat ourselves magnificently, we've enrolled the entire universe into our training. I think we want to accept on a deep level, on a profound level, even on a real level, that not only do we deserve the best, but we are the best that this universe, the force, God has to offer. But sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. We may put ourselves down in subtle and sometimes not so subtle ways. But as I like to say, God did not make junk. God did not make mistakes. God did not accidentally create anything. Who we are and what we are is the absolute best that God has offered as far as we are concerned. So we want to treat ourselves well. And that's not pampering the ego. Like I said, it's about taking compassionate hands and beginning to take time with ourselves. Like I said, sometimes people are so critical of themselves, but we want to be able to reverse that. You know, one of the techniques one of my teachers told me earlier on, I was trying to kind of reverse my life. He said that you want to look at yourself at a high level. So, get up in the morning. The first thing in the morning, look in the mirror and just say these words: I love you. And he said, if you're not doing that at least once a day, he said, if your mirror does not have your lip prints on it, you need to start doing that every single day. Be nice to yourself. Encourage yourself. Love yourself. Even when we get money, we have to pay ourselves and, like my friend, buy an extravagant gift or a non-extravagant gift, just some flowers. We don't necessarily think about paying all the bills first. We have to pay the bills, yes, but also pay ourselves. Take care of ourselves. Sometimes I like to say, I wake up some days and I say, it's been a long time since I took a bath. Let me go in the bathtub now, and just put some bubbles in there and just put a whole lot in there and just have them floating all through the bathroom and just have a one-on-one conversation with the presence of God. And say, God, talk to me. Let's talk together. See how wonderful you are, how wonderful life is. Remind me of that. Because it's impossible to accept what is God's pleasure to give us if we're not training the universe to respond to the deep and pure intention of how we're treating ourselves. It's an impossibility for us to be walking around not giving ourselves enough time, not giving ourselves enough encouragement. Like I said, we need to be our best cheerleaders. We can't walk around not taking care of ourselves and then expect anyone else or the universe to respond in kind. That would be for the universe to act unlawfully. But the universe always acts lawfully, responding to the nature of the song within us, within our heart. So we don't want to say, I don't have enough time. If we say that, I don't have enough time, I'm overwhelmed, sometimes we may get caught up into, we run into the world scattered and tattered and so forth. And because we're training the universe to respond that way as a scattered, tattered, frail, lackluster human being, the unlawful universe hears that prayer. That's basically what it says. You're saying I don't have enough time? The universe always answers our true held prayers. So if we say I don't have enough time in my life, it's overwhelming, and say, I can't really get all this done. The universe say, well, if you ain't got enough time for yourself, I ain't got enough time for you. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to send out that message. Sometimes we beat ourselves up for making too many mistakes. As I've often mentioned, a mistake is kind of like an actor. When they're in a play or rehearsing for a movie or something, they may kind of mess up, and they would say it's time to take two, So a mistake is just nothing more than a mistake. We always get a chance to do it again and again and again until we get it right. But oftentimes we end up committing malpractice with our minds, with our mentality, beating ourselves up. Some even try to beat themselves up so they can get into some place called heaven, which is right here and now. Sometimes we have a fantasy about all the so-called bad things we may have done or did not do, and we're afraid to face the presence of God because we think there's going to be some kind of retribution. But we know that God is love, so there is no God like that. But on some level, we might think so, unconsciously. As Landers was talking about, our unconscious beliefs are the wings that are running us. So before God can beat us up, let me say to ourselves, let me beat myself up first. In hopes that if God can see me beat myself up, God will have mercy on me. You know what I'm talking about. You may wake up and start saying, oh my God, I'm a bad person. I messed up. I made a mistake. I'm a sinner. Oh my God. And you say, oh God, are you seeing this? I'm terrible. I'm not worthy. I'm hoping that God is saying, oh, look at him, look at her. I guess they're going to release that person from the law of mind action, that their words are creating their experience. There's no God like that. The universe acts lawfully. And the moment we step into the kingdom of God awareness, God consciousness, loving consciousness, we stop beating up ourselves and open ourselves up to the love that is there all the time. So we don't want to beat ourselves up. We keep ourselves in bondage and limitation. Rather than practice the greatest love, we often see ourselves, we need to see ourselves, I should say, as the highest expression of God with unconditional love. There's a dynamic energy, an impulse waiting to be expressed through us. We just have to open up ourselves to receive it. I mentioned, one time I had heard about what they do in Morocco. A person could be walking down the street, and there's a friend that comes up to them and says something to them like, oh, you're wearing a magnificent garment today. And rather than say, oh, this old thing, they will respond and say, oh, it's true, thank you. Or someone may say, oh, I love your brilliant smile. And they will say, oh, it's true, thank you. And then somebody may say, oh, I love the way that you're just walking with such dignity as you go down to the street and go into the store to get your goods for the day. And they'll respond by saying, oh, it's true, thank you. We want to have that kind of same attitude when that great energy comes to us. We don't want to deflect it in any way, shape, or form. We want to open up ourselves to the goodness of the universe and know that it's true, thank you. We want to affirm that over and over and over ourselves. So as we all enter into this Valentine's Day week, I just want to say that you're beautiful. And you can say, do you really believe it? Let me say, you are magnificent. It's God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. I accept all my good right now. As we begin to affirm that and believe that, make that part of our awareness, we become the walking energetic of all the good and the love that this magnificent universe has for us. We don't deflect it at all. We accept it. And as we accept it, more good comes into our life. So as we head into Valentine's Day, remember you want to give out all the love. Start by loving yourself. And then you'll have all the love to give to the rest of the world. Peace and blessings to you. Well, Reverend Deborah will be back next week. We're affirming her quick and efficient healing and the cleansing that she's going through. And she's going to talk about your deepest hope. So we kind of start out with your highest prayer. And today we talked about your greatest love. And we're continuing on with your deepest hope. So that's going to be a wonderful experience as she continues on with this theme. For those who are online right now, if you would like to support Spiritual Life Center and spreading this message to as many people as possible and really helping us become the very best organization that we can be, You can support us with your gift, your offering, your money, and you can do it very easily by simply texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or you can go to our website and that says slcworld.org. Go to the donate page, and it'll give you other ways that you can give, including sending a check by mail, if that's your preference. For those who are present this morning, we invite you to take your gift or your love offering and know that you're in the flow of something that says whatever you give out, it does come back. And you support us so that we can be that place for those who are looking to grow, develop, and unfold to become the very best they can be and make a difference in our world. That's what we're about. So with that awareness, let's say our offertory blessing this morning together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
So many choices, so little time. So many mountains left to climb. But I know that it gets clearer. I get nearer to where I'm meant to be. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows where I'm going. Everybody trying hard to fit in. Got to feel good in my own skin. Gonna use my imagination for inspiration every chance I get. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. I'm trusting my instincts, they're keeping me in sync with my head and my heart and my soul. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows where I'm going. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows just where I'm going. I've got to follow my own road, 'cause God only knows where I'm going.
Well, thank you for being yourself, because nobody like you on the universe.
It
In
is
the
true.
universe.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, we take this time to bless those who have blessed us with their gift, whether they've been online or here today or sent something online, electronic funds transfer to support our community, to provide that place that's making a difference in people's lives, to provide that place for those who are on their way and don't even know it yet. For that all of us are seeking to express the highest and best of who we have come here to be, our unique selves, our unique way of being in the world. We also bless those who have left those prayers in the prayer box today or throughout the week, recognizing that all of us at some point run into bumps in the road, challenges, setbacks, problems that we don't have the ability to solve on our own will and might. And in those moments, we simply release and let go and let the Spirit run our life. And as we do, we recognize and we know that this presence already has the answer to our so-called problem. As the statement goes, before they call, I have already answered you. Because this all-knowing, everywhere present presence has the solution and only knows divine and perfect spiritual solutions. It knows nothing about problems. So we sit back and allow this presence to direct us, to bring us the solutions. And it may come from directions we never imagined and in ways we never thought of. But it's always there, and we give thanks in advance for that. We know that this energy is going to continue with the prayers being sent to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of high-vibing consciousness. So we give thanks for this opportunity to let God be God through and as us as we grow and unfold in this world. With that, we're grateful and thankful, and so it is. Amen. And so with that, let us join in as we affirm together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I am. And all is well. Let's sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, God as creator, family all are we, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin. Let it begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
Have a great day, and may your team win the Super Bowl today.
What if you knew that you were beautiful? What if your smile was wild and free? What if you knew that you could take your time and everything would turn out fine? What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What if every step of the journey was just as sweet as the final prize? What if you lost the map but you found the key? What if your life was so much fun you didn't need to try and get it all done? What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. So give it a season without a doubt. Give it a reason to work it out. Give it a chance, give it some time, give it your best. Give it a rest. What if the great big picture already dawned on everybody loud and clear? What if we give ourselves a break and let our differences be? If we could just sit still a minute, enjoy the human race and not have to win it. What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. Point of view, here in the middle of I love you, so delicious and simple and brief. What a relief.
Oh, yeah.
What if every step of the journey was just as sweet as a final prize? What if we lost the map but we found the key? So much fun, you didn't need to try and get it all done. What a wonderful, wonderful world this could be. What a wonderful, wonderful world. What a wonderful